Hey, how you guys doing again? This is USMC Doc 14 from Pirate 4x4 and JKOwners.com. And this time what we're doing is we're covering splinting, both traditional and improvised. Okay? Now, I'm a trained medical professional, but the information that I'm passing here is just for educational purposes only. If you would like to learn more about becoming, medically trained, please attend schooling or whatever the hell you want to, but yeah. Anyway. Everything that I've been teaching you guys here is bare bones, down and dirty medicine, okay? It is not necessarily civilian EMS quality. It is pretty much cover your ass, save your ass, get off the X type medical training. Now, splinting. Everybody nukes the shit out of splinting. Splinting is really, 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 really simple, okay? We've been doing it for thousands of years, okay? And in modern times, people have been nuking the shit out of it and making all these modern requirements, okay? Now, you're going to splint a broken bone, okay? Now, your civilian guys are going to go all butthurt and be like, oh, it's just obvious deformity, okay? If this arm is bent at 90 degrees from here, okay, it's broken. I don't give a fuck, okay? There's not going to be an x-ray in the world that's going to say she has a green stick fracture and possible broken, okay? We're just broken. Stop with the obvious deformity shit. Okay, now, if a body part is at an angle that it's not supposed to be at, it needs to be splinted. Okay, it either needs to be splinted in that position, or it needs to be splinted in the normal-ish position. Okay. What we're going to assume here is that my patient has a break somewhere in here, okay? And this part of the arm is bent off at a weird angle. Now, the most important thing you want to pay attention to with any sort of fracture is distal pulse, okay? The pulse further down, okay, from where the break is. So I got the break here, so I'm going to go and I'm going to check the radial pulse, which is here. And if you don't know how to check radial pulse, it might be something you want to learn. And if I don't know what the hell a radial pulse is, what I can do is I can do what's called capillary refill. Okay, now see the nail beds? See how they're nice and pink? Okay, it's a little French manicure and shit. Okay, if I press on it, it bleaches out white. And then when I let it go, see how it goes pink again? White and pink. Okay, that is the blood refilling the capillaries. It should turn back to pink in less than a minute, okay? But you can do it on fingers, you can do it on the fingertips, okay? You can do it on the toes, toe tips, whatever. You can pinch the skin like this and it does the same thing, okay? See? Pink, white, and pink again. Okay, it all depends on how dark your patient is. Because if somebody has really dark pigmentation, you're probably not going to see a change in their nail bed. Okay. Now, you do this before you splint in the fracture. The reason why is if the break is all mangled out of shape and it's blocking off the blood vessel and there's no pulse going down here, this shit's dying, okay? Most medicine does not recommend realigning any sort of fracture unless it is fucking up blood circulation, okay? And then the rule of thumb pretty much is you get to relocate it once and once only. So if it's all mangled and I'm not getting a pulse, okay? Oh, by the way, don't check pulses with your thumb. Your thumb has its own pulse. Okay, so I'm gonna check the pulse, okay? And I got no pulse. Oh shit! I'm gonna go on a straighten the arm out to normal-ish, okay? And your patient's just gonna scream, bitch and moan, but tell them, hey, I'm making sure your shit's good so that you still have a hand. And checking the pulse. Okay, and I got a pulse. Good. That means this needs to be splinted like this. Now, the main reason why you're splinting is to prevent further injury. When bone breaks, it has all these nice little shards, okay? And the nice little shards like to cut shit and tear shit up inside, okay? It's also for patient comfort. Because with it not moving around, and the bone ends not grinding and cutting shit, basically, with everything in one place, it hurts less. Now, for long-term, with casting, okay, casting is just hard splinting so that the bone can re-heal back into place. Now, we're not going to get into traction splinting today, which is femoral traction splinting. We'll cover that. We're simply normal extremities. Okay, be it an arm, be it a finger, okay, whatever. Okay, we're just sticking with the smaller extremities. Now, we got the fracture. All fractures need to be well secured, okay? Above and below where the fracture is. Okay, now if you want to get even more, okay, it's supposed to be secured at the joint above and below the fracture. I'm not going to hold you guys to that standard, okay? If you have a good fucking splint that is above and below the fracture point, good to go. Now, you want to guesstimate where the fracture is going to be. Like if I see it bend, you know, like it's coming this way and it's this way, I'm going to assume that the fracture point is here. Where the fracture point is, you don't want to tie things around because it's going to really hurt your patient. This is one of the most commonly available universal splinting devices that I recommend for everybody. This is a SAM splint, okay? They've been around for 15, 20 years now, okay? What it is really retardedly simple, okay? It is foam with a piece of aluminum in between it. You can't get to the aluminum because it's trapped in the foam. And it's bendable. Ooh, nifty. But the unique thing about this is because it is bendable, it allows you to do all sorts of fun shit. Laying flat like this, okay, by the way, most of these have directions printed on it. C-curve, strong, okay? That's what I'm about to show you. If you go and you take a piece of aluminum or a flat piece of metal, okay, and you bend a V into it, okay, a triangle profiled piece of metal is incredibly strong, okay? It will resist bending in those directions. It actually requires a lot of force for me to bend it. Now, some people get all butthurt about the position of anatomy, and you want to support the hand. And if you guys want to learn that shit, go right ahead, okay? I'm going to probably do it out of habit. But in reality, as long as you secure the limb in a straight line where it's supposed to be, me as the next level of care will be perfectly happy, okay? As long as I got blood going down here and that shit's not moving, I'm happy. We can iron out the details later. Now, so I'm going to go and, like I said, habit. I'm going to go make a nice little hand rest for my patient, this nice little U-channel, and I'm going to go and slap this down like that. See that nice little hand hold? Ooh. And the U-shaped channel fits right under there, okay? Now the fracture's right about here. And I'm going to go and secure it in place with, something that's going to not really fuck them up. Like, you can use tape, okay? I mean, you can just duct tape this bitch right in place, and it's not going to matter. Your patient's going to hate you afterwards when you're ripping duct tape off their hair, but whatever. So I'm going to go and wrap this bad boy in place. Now, fracture's here, so I'm going to skip way the fuck over it, okay? And I am tightening this down, but I'm not cranking it down. I want the splint to not move. Okay? I want the splint to not move, but I don't want to be tourniqueting off or cutting off the circulation of my patient. Okay? And secure it down. Now, if you notice, I actually, went and got decent ace wrap, okay, that has a little Velcro shit at the end, so I don't have to fuck around with the pins. But you notice it's nice and secured in place. The arm is not moving, okay, the splint is firmly attached. And then I'm going to go and check my capillary refill. Okay, got good capillary refill. I can wedge my finger up there and check for a pulse. Got a pulse. That's good. Leave it alone. Don't nuke it. Okay, once it's there, leave it alone. After a while, check your work, okay? Because shit moves around, and this can all get loose. So, now, that is using nice medical supplies. You got yourself some SAM splint and some 3-inch ace wrap. It kicks ass. Okay? But guess what? You don't have that shit. Okay? What are you going to do? Now, like I said before, a lot of you guys did not do Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. Okay, you didn't see the little shitty drawings of the fucking sticks, okay, on the side of a limb and all that. So, a lot of people don't have the mentality of, how the hell do I splint? Okay, stop nuking it. All you need is something that is rigid, okay, on both sides to keep this from moving. And then you need something to secure it with. That's it. It could be anything. It could be this book right here, okay? I could go and take this book, fold it up around here, and, well, I mean, it'll work-ish, but there's too much gap on the top. But what do you got around you? Okay, now, something I have a shit ton around me is high-capacity magazines. Do you know why? Because I don't trust motherfuckers up in Congress, okay? You too should own a cubic shit ton of these. Not only because some asshole might go and ban it out of a feel-good law, but because they're, like, sexy. I mean, come on, it's all black and plastic, and it's got, like 30 rounds of, like, you know, ammunition. But you always want to keep these locked up, because if you leave them alone, they'll go out and, like, set fires and kill kittens. But anyway, they work very well for splinting. Now, I don't recommend doing this in an actual firefight situation, okay? And the reason why is you know, this has still got ammo in it, okay? Ammo is more important than splinting a broken arm. But anyway, nice little magazines, okay? It's even ribbed for your pleasure. It grips right in there. Now, secure it in place. Trusty cravat, triangular bandage, okay? So, I'm going to go and take past the cravat underneath. My patient's going to stop helping me. Okay. I'm going to tie the cravat here. Okay. And then I'll take another cravat, which I don't have. So I'm going to use my patient's housecoat robe. Okay. See, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay. I didn't know this shit was available. I just grabbed the damn shit. Okay. I'm going to go and take this, pass it under here. Actually, this bathrobe rope works very nice. I'm going to have to toss one of these in my med kit. I bet my patient has a nice tactical purple one, too, that I can steal. Okay, I can go and take it. This will actually work nice, because I can take this bitch, and I can wrap it around a bunch of times. Oh, by the way, my fracture point is here. That's why I'm leaving it exposed. And then secure this in place. If you notice, okay, it's not going anywhere. It's firmly attached to my patient's arm. But the point shows that you can use anything, okay, for splinting. Now, one of my absolute favorite things, and by the way, gents, contact your representatives for state and local laws, and please let them know that you do not support any ban whatsoever, whether it be firearms or magazines, okay? Assholes and evil people kill people. Magazines and guns don't. One of my favorite things to go and patch up, like do splinting, is you actually go and take the patient's shoes, okay? Now, this is my shoe, and it's a little bit grimy, so I'm not going to stick it to my patient's arm. But if you notice, 2 shoes on either side, I can actually take the laces, tie them to each other, and that's it. What your patient is wearing can be one of the best medical treatment devices, okay? Now, much smaller digits, like fingers, okay? Fingers, okay, like this one, okay? If this finger was broken, you could splint it, but just take it and tape it to the next one, okay? It's going to keep it in line, and your patient is going to not move it because it's going to hurt, so it's splint it, okay? You can also splint to the body, okay? Like, I can go and take the arm, and I can splint it up against the patient's side, okay? Or I can take both the patient's legs. Say they got a fractured lower leg. I can go and take both the legs, sandwich them together, wrap them up, and they're self-splinting. Don't nuke it. Okay? That's the biggest thing. Don't nuke it. Don't try finding weird-ass gimmicks. The basic shit works every time, all the time. And it's a perishable trait. Okay? You have to practice. If you don't practice, you're going to forget it. Seriously, go and pick up some cheap-ass cravats or fluffy house robe and practice. Okay? Practice on your wife, practice on your kids, practice on yourself. Just so you get into the habit of having that muscle memory before you actually need it. Anyway, USMC Doc 14 for JK owners and Pirate4x4.com. Please stop by the forums and tell me what you think, or if you need any more input, please feel free to contact me. Y'all have a good night.